Okay guys, I'm back with another video. I want to talk about another fight I watched Saturday night. I went back and watched the Julius Indongo Ricky Burns fight. Julius Indongo, he is a force to be reckoned with at 140. He's the IBF champion. He took on the WBA champion Ricky Burns. And Indongo, he put on a one-sided beating over Ricky Burns every single round, en route to a 12-round decision. I have to say I haven't seen like a steady beating like this where a guy just dominated for 12 rounds with a consistent style since Winky Wright took on Felix Trinidad in 2005. But of course they have different styles, but Indongo, he is a very fast, long-rangey southpaw with excellent stamina. Excellent stamina, just like Winky Wright. But from round one, Indongo, he just established his jab early, and as well as his rhythm on pretty much how every single round would go. He was able to back Burns up, who was probably a little bit more flat-footed, and just continued to jab him upstairs and downstairs, and mix in his power shots. Thing about Indongo is his punch output is it's really high. At the same time, it's very authoritative. When he lets one shot go, it has bad intentions on it. And after that, when he lets those shots go, he's right back reloaded. He snatches it back because he's ready to fire again. He's right back in Ricky Burns' face. But just because of the way his fight style was, Ricky Burns spent most of the night on the back foot, kind of waiting and waiting, and never really trying to get anything off. Like, he wouldn't even try to get on the inside, which is where I think he would have fared better against a longer man. But it looked like he was intimidated by the power. He was never really rocked, but it was kind of like he was anticipating what power Indongo could bring. He would just kind of wait, let him get his shots off, wait. I think it was round 9. There was one little exchange where Ricky Burns kind of had some moments on the inside, but overall, he just respected Indongo's power a little too much to me. Another thing I think Julius did really good was his work to the body. He would really mix it up from jabbing upstairs, jabbing downstairs, and then coming with power shots to the body, which is another thing that kind of slowed Ricky down. So in the angles, the different angles where his head would be out of harm's way every time he would hit Ricky with those looping shots. Overall, like I said, it was pretty much every round, complete dominance by Indongo. So now that Indongo has the other half of the belts, kind of hard to say what's next for Ricky Burns. I really don't see him winning another belt in this division. Now that Indongo has the belts and Terrence Crawford has the other half. Terrence Crawford is a guy that already holds a win over Ricky Burns, so it's really hard to say what's next for Ricky Burns in this division. Either he wants to move down or retire. But speaking of Crawford, Crawford and Indongo, that's pretty much a must-see after seeing this fight. I know that Crawford has a semi-tough fight up next month against Felix Diaz, but I definitely have to say that if Crawford wants to solidify his number 2 spot, like he says he is under Andre Ward, I think he should go ahead and unify the rest of this division and become the undisputed champion, because I don't think that 140 had an undisputed champion in quite a while. I think it was since Costa Zoo, whenever he unified with Zab Judah. I know Ricky hadn't unified a couple of the belts like back in 05, but nobody's had all the belts since, I think, Costa Zoo. But yeah, that's something that Crawford and Indongo should shoot for, that undisputed crown. But I really think that Crawford will come out on top in a tough fight, because I think that there's some things that Indongo does that I think Crawford could kind of capitalize on, some weaknesses. But yeah, definitely, if Crawford gets past Felix Diaz, I would like to see this fight probably by the end of the year for all the belts. Golovkin, he has all his belts. I think that's something Crawford should shoot for if he wants to be, that pound for pound guy. Especially whenever he can't get a fight with like Pacquiao or Mikey Garcia. Just shoot for, collecting all the belts in the division. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about this fight. If you like this video, just subscribe to my channel, and I'll probably be back with another video ASAP. So I'll see you guys later.